answer Job is going to give to God is, well, obviously no, God. Because Job has good doctrine. He knows what God is saying. God's saying, you can't do any of these things without me. Amen. So every answer to these questions are no. And let's keep reading. Verse 2. Canst thou put a hook into his nose? No. Or bore his jaw through with a thorn? No. So the thing is, every weapon, every natural weapon you have is nothing. Every natural ability you have, doesn't matter how smart you are, how strong you are, how any of this, you have a good memory so you can memorize 88 chapters, many chapters of the Bible and all of that stuff. Doesn't matter. We know someone who God gave them the ability to memorize the entire Bible, and he's a Catholic hugger. Yeah. So it doesn't matter any of that. Verse 3, will he make many supplications unto thee? That means he's going to do what he wants. He doesn't need your permission. And we're talking about the beast. We're also talking about Satan on here. Is Satan going to come to you and ask you, can he please torment your life? You? Is he going to ask you? He's not going to ask me. He's just going to go to God, because that's the only person he asked before in Job before this. He went to God. God's like, where are you, Satan? What were you doing? I'm going everywhere to try to see who's righteous, who's good, and none. And God has to be the one. Have you considered Job? By the way, Satan already knew this because he already had things against God. Well, God, you put a hedge around him. Yeah. So that means he tried. He didn't go and ask Job, Job, I'm trying to attack you. But hold on, I'll go ask God first. He was going to attack Job regardless, but God had the protection around Job. Amen. So it's not about us at all. God's describing this natural beast. Let's continue. Will he make a covenant with thee? Means we're friends. Will thou take him for a servant forever? Will thou play with him as with a bird, or will thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with a fish spear? This thing is massive, and your weapons won't do anything to it. And Job is looking at this in awe because he's understanding exactly what God is saying. He understands. If God wanted to, a beast like this, because by the way, and just a little side note, the earth, the scientists and all that only have about 5% of the bottom of the ocean mapped out. 95% of it has not been mapped out. There's things down there that the scientists don't want to explain, because they know if they try to explain it, there's proof there's a God. Amen. And God is saying at any given time, if I wanted to, I can bring this beast onto this earth and I can wipe all of you out if I choose to. Amen. You can't do anything without me. Nothing is what God is saying. Right here, verse 8. Lay thine hand upon him. Remember the battle. Do no more. Stop trying. Let it go. You can't do it. I asked you all those questions because I know you can't do it. Shut up for a second. I'm going to explain more, is what God is saying. Verse 9. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? This thing is scary. Just looking at it, you're going to end up on your face scared. None is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? God made a whole thing showing you, imagine this thing. Yeah, Job, it's scary, right? Job's like, oh, it's terrifying. It's terrifying. And God's like, imagine me. Yes. Imagine how scary I am. And this is something that can be killed, and you're scared of it. Yeah. So imagine me. And that's how God ends that. Imagine God. Oh, I can do this. Oh, I'm a prophet. I'm a this. I'm a that. And those guys couldn't even go out and preach and all of that. Oh, you're scared of a crowd. You're scared of this.'re doing that. Imagine God. You want to do your own thing? And you think there's going to be no consequences from God? There's things on this earth that you're tiny towards. You're nothing. Now you can ask, well, actually I want to finish this because I like this, to verse 11. None is so fierce that stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? Verse 11. Who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven